Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fix our screen so that we have our screen placed in the iPhone correctly. And as you can see from the last lesson, we do have three parts, which would be our glass here, the actual inside portion of the body, and then this would be the screen. But for right now, as you can see, that there's no thickness on the screen, and that's okay because this is just simply going to get a texture. But let's just say if you broke your iPhone, or you had the opportunity where you could see inside of your iPhone, the actual screen portion of the iPhone has a little bit of depth to it. There's not a massive amount of depth, and that's because the iPhone itself, if you can look here from the blueprint, isn't necessarily that thick. But it's thick enough to where the screen has to be sitting inside of something. So we have to keep that in mind. And what we're going to need to do here is we also need to make this, light sensitive, where it's going to be closed, and so we aren't going to get any unnecessarily lights actually showing through the model. So it has to be somewhat closed off. And so let's go ahead and let's go to edge mode, edge selection mode, and we're going to select the border edge here for where the screen will be sitting inside of. Let me go ahead and add this to its own layer just so I can hide it and so I can do all the extrusions here. So let's go into edge selection mode here, and I'm just double clicking so I can select the entire edge of the body of where the actual screen is going to be placed in here. And I'm just going to go into the extrude tool, which is under your edit mesh menu and your polygon menu, and it's right at the top. So we're just going to go ahead and extrude in, and the tool comes down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and just hit W so that we can extrude this in here. And we're not going to extrude in too far, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Let's go and say that far, and then we're going to extrude in again so that we can sort of close this off. And we're going to extrude up, and as you can see, the corner here on the bottom, it's coming in as somewhat weird, and it's not extruding in properly. So I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to go ahead and use the scale tool so I can scale it in uniformly, and that's good there. Okay, so now if I hit 3 to smooth the model, you can see that we have a little bit of thickness, but there isn't a huge amount of thickness. And so now let's go ahead and bring back the screen of our iPhone. I'll go ahead and delete the layer here, select it. We're going to go ahead and put it back into place. But you can see here where it's still sitting on top of the actual inside portion of the body, so we need to go ahead and move that in a little bit. And if we go ahead and smooth this, you can see where the corners are going to be a little bit weird, and that's because we need to add a couple extra edge loops to each corner of it. And so let's go ahead and bring in our insert edge loop tool again, and I just want to be mindful of where I place these edges, and I want to try to keep it as close as I can so that it's going to maintain its shape as well as I want it to. So let's go ahead and go around the body portion of the mesh here and just simply place those edges in here. And these edges actually aren't really going to affect the model, just which would be the outside portion of the body, and that's good because we have it separated. So let's go ahead and place those there. Let's go ahead and place these last ones. We're going to go ahead and hit 3 on the keyboard, and you can see there as it's maintaining its shape fairly well. And that's pretty much the front portion of our iPhone. So let's go ahead and I'm going to re-hide the screen here, and I'm just going to simply add a couple extra edge loops on the inside portion of our extrudes here, just so that this is definitely going to maintain its shape a lot better, and it's going to give it more of a hard edge, as you can see there. go ahead and bring back our screen and just make sure it's being placed properly, and just had to scale it up a little bit there. You can see that we have a little bit of thickness. There's not a massive amount of thickness inside of this, and that's good. That's exactly what we're looking for. And there you go. We have our screen and placed properly, and in the next lesson we'll continue working our way from front to back.